Hi guys, today we're going to look at a couple of different problem solving strategies and we're going to look at some maybe non-routine problems that we don't see every day in a textbook. And you're going to have to pick which problem you might want, which strategy you want to use and which would be most appropriate for solving the problem that you are working on. So the strategies we're going to be looking at are looking for a pattern, guess and check, and revise, make a table, and then work backwards. Let's begin with this problem. Ramon got a text from Angela. After 10 seconds, he forwarded it to two of his friends. After 10 more seconds, those two friends forwarded it to two more friends. If the text was forwarded like this every 10 seconds, how many people received Angela's text after 40 seconds? So we have a table here. We know that when time was 0, Angela was the only one who had it, so it was one person. After 10 seconds, she sent it to two people. Those two people each sent it to two people, so another 10 seconds. So at 20 seconds, they had sent it to four people. So the question is, how many people received her text after 40 seconds? Well, first let's look for a pattern. We notice that if I look at the data for the people getting texts, I keep multiplying to get to the next step. Every 10 seconds, I multiply by 2, which means if I were to continue the pattern, 4 times 2 is 8. That means there would be an 8 here for 30 seconds. And 8 times 2 is 16. So 16 people would have gotten it after 40 seconds. So in order to figure out how many people received the text, I would have to add up all of the people who got a text after that certain amount of time. So 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 8 plus 16 is 31. So 31 people received the text. Let's look at another one. Each hand in the human body has 27 bones. There are 6 more bones in the fingers than in the wrist. There are 3 fewer bones in the palm than in the wrist. How many bones are in each part of the hand? Okay, so for this problem, I've read it. We're still going to use that 4-step plan. Understand, plan, solve, and check. So I've read the problem once. I'm going to go back and read it again to understand what I need to know. So how many bones are in each part of the hand is what I'm looking for. I know the human body has 27 bones in their hand. I know there are 6 more bones in the fingers and the wrist, 3 fewer bones in the palm than the wrist. So if I knew the wrist, I'd be able to figure this out. But let's make a guess to find the number of bones in each part of the hand. So let's say I had 5 hands and 5 in the wrist. That means there were 3 fewer in the palm. So 5 minus 3 is 2. 6 more in the fingers. So 5 plus 6 is 11. But if I add that up, if I guessed 5 in the wrist, that would mean 2 in the palm, 11 in the fingers. That would only be 18. That's too low. So I go up. Let's try 7. Well, 7 minus 3 is 4. 7 plus 6 is 13, because remember there's 6 more in the fingers than the wrist. I add that up. 7 plus 4 plus 13 is 24. That's still too low. So we try 9. 9 minus 3 is 6. 9 plus 6 is 15. 9 plus 6 plus 15 is 30. That's too high. I need to go a little lower. And so I go 8. And so really we're kind of fine. We started with a guess, but we're looking for patterns here. 5 was too low, 7 was too low, 9 was too high. So I have to go somewhere in between. Let's guess 8. 8 minus 3 is 5. 8 plus 6 is 14. 8 plus 5 plus 14 is 27, and that's correct. I can go back. I actually was making an estimate to solve this problem in the first place. So I've checked my work, and I know that there are 8 bones in the wrist, 5 in the palm, and 14 in the fingers. So that was a little bit of guessing, making an educated guess, and going and figuring out from there, do I need to go up or down? Let's look at another one. In this problem, a vending machine accepts dollars and each item in the machine costs 65 cents. If the machine gives back only nickels, dimes, and quarters, what combinations of those coins are possible as change for $1? Okay, so I need to basically think about, okay, if I put in a dollar and whatever I buy is 65 cents, that means I'm getting back how much? So that means I'll be getting back 35 cents and change. So what are the different combinations of nickels, dimes, and quarters that I can use to come up with 35 cents? Now for this one, I'm going to make a table because it shows the different combinations of nickels, dimes, and quarters that total 35 cents. So I know 1 quarter is 25 cents plus 1 dime and 0 nickels. How about 1 quarter, 0 dimes, 2 nickels? I'm starting with my biggest value and I'm going to work my way down. So quarters is what I have is the biggest valued coin, so I start with that. Then I went to dimes, which is the next biggest value, and I didn't need any nickels. Then I used the quarters again with 0 dimes, and that meant I needed 2 nickels. So I'm still using a pattern. What if I went with 0 quarters, 3 dimes, and 1 nickel, 0 quarters, 2 dimes, and 3 nickels? See, now I'm going down in the number of dimes, so there is a strategy method here. I'm not just guessing on this one. 0 quarters, 1 dime, 5 nickels, 0 quarters, 0 dimes, 7 nickels. So all the possible combinations are in my table. So the total number of combinations are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 possible combinations. Let's look at one more type of problem. Kendrick spent half of the money he had this morning on lunch. After lunch, he loaned his friend $1. Now he has $1.50. How much money did Kendrick start with this morning? Well, let's see what he has at the end of the day. We're going to use the work backward method for this problem. We start with our end result, which is $1.50, and work backward to find his starting amount. So now he has $1.50. To undo the dollar he loaned his friend, I'm going to add $1 onto it. So that would be $2.50 before he loaned the dollar to his friend. Undo lunch. So I'm going to multiply that by 2 because he spent half of his money. So to undo half, we multiply by 2, which gives you $5. And the amount that Kendrick started with was $5. So if I were to check it, he started with $5. And let's work forward now. If he started with $5, he spent half of it on lunch. That means he would have $2.50 because half of 5 is $2.50. Then if he loaned that dollar to his friend, that would be $1.50 left. Okay. In the work section of your WSQ, you're going to find 2 problems from the skill practice at least, and at least 2 problems from the problem solving practice to do. Try finding problems that require you to use different strategies. So really you should have at least one problem where you look for a pattern, one where you guess, check, and revise, one where you make a table, and one where you work backwards. You can check your work with the key, which is also provided on the unit guide. Don't forget to WSQ in your notes. You can go back and watch any portion of this video as many times as you need to.